Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm finally bringing you guys another chips and dip mukbang and I'm so excited. So for our sweet dip today, I made a Snickers dip. It was so easy. I will write what I did in the description box below. It took me like 10 to 15 minutes. And then to dip in it, I have vegan graham crackers and Trader Joe's vegan oat chocolate bars with crispy rice and cocoa nibs. I've had them before, they're so good. So yeah, very excited for that. Also, ever since, I don't know which chips and dip video it was, but I had a s'mores dip. And in that video I mentioned that ever since I was little, I've kind of just been indifferent to s'mores. Like, I just am not the biggest fan. But ever since that dip video, I have been craving a s'mores dip. Like, not s'mores, a s'mores dip. I kind of want to do one soon, maybe. I don't know. That was a little side tangent, but I don't know. I was on the topic of sweet dips. This dip is a Korean cheesy corn. I don't think it's technically a dip. I've seen it everywhere, and I really wanted to try it. So I found this recipe. I'll link it down below. I just veganized it. And it's basically corn with vegan mayo and cheese and some spices. It looked really good, so I wanted to make it. Then I also have, this isn't sponsored, okay, but Trader Joe's chili and lime flavored tortilla chips. They're pretty much like Takis, but honestly better in my opinion. Trader Joe's ghost pepper chips because I love these. And Trader Joe's Salsa Verde chips, which I also love these. They have so much flavor and they're so good. And then also for today's video, somebody wanted me to do a video where I took a bunch of this or that polls. So I'll be doing that today because I thought that sounded fun. But before we jump into that, we're gonna jump into the food. Dessert first. Okay. Ooh. Yummy. Oh. I can't get to the bottom layer. It's too thick. And everything else is too runny. It's good though. It tastes like Snickers. So I did a nougat layer, a caramel layer, and then some peanuts, and then a chocolate layer on top. One more. Okay, so I found this question generator just on Google. It has a bunch of different polls, and you just click it. Okay, sleeping with the bedroom door closed or open? Definitely closed. I am a very sensitive sleeper, and so I need it to be quiet when I'm sleeping, so I have my door closed and the lights off, my blinds closed. Yeah, very sensitive sleeper. Blessing and a curse. Honestly, it's probably just a curse. Anyway, moving on. Share food or do not share food? There are times where I just do not want to share my food. Like if I get an acai bowl, I'm not sharing that. But typically I will share my food. Like after my mukbangs, whatever's left over I'll give to my family, and I love having them try it. So typically, generally speaking, share food. Sweeping or vacuuming? Honestly, I would probably say sweeping. I mean, you can't really sweep on carpet, but if it's hard floor, sweeping. I feel like sweeping, you get so much more from the broom than you do with the vacuum. I feel like the vacuum just misses so much. Like I end up sweeping after I vacuum hard floor anyway. I don't know. I just feel like the vacuum isn't efficient enough. Okay, now I'm gonna have some of the Trader Joe's chocolate, and 3 of these little bars come in a box. And this is what they look like. Yum, chocolate on chocolate, my favorite. Let me see if I can get some of the nougat with the chocolate. I was not thinking it through, making the nougat thick, because it's not necessarily dippable. Oh, I got some. I got a lot. Mmm. It's a protein nougat because I added protein powder to it. So good. Also, the chocolate is bomb with it. So good. This chocolate is very creamy and sweet, and I love the texture of it. Okay, before I move on to any more of the polls, I really want to try this. I think I'm going to try the Salsa Verde chips first. I remember last time I tried these, I loved them. Okay. Ooh. That is so good. especially with these chips, is perfect. Alright, now for some ghost pepper chips. These are really good. They have a lot of flavor and they're not super spicy. I very much like them. Leader or follower? I'm typically a follower, and not necessarily in every way, but I just generally don't lead people. I mean, I can, but I'm more of a follower than a leader. Volcano or mountain? Mountain. I love hiking and I love mountains, so mountain. I don't know why I would pick volcano. I'm not trying to die. Okay, now we're gonna try the Takis, quote unquote, in the dip. Ooh, those are really good in it. Mmm. It tastes like Takis elote, and that is one of my favorite foods on this planet. Oh my gosh, this is so good. It's super good because the corn is refreshing, and like the mayo and cheese, they're more refreshing and creamy, and so eating them with the spicy Takis and the spicy ghost pepper chips, the salsa verde chips, it's just a really good balance and combo because they complement each other. Skill or popularity? Definitely skill. Popularity doesn't get you anywhere. It makes you feel good, but it's instant gratification. It's not something that's gonna last you. It's not a permanent thing. And skill can get you places. Plus, it feels good to have skill because when you're skillful, you can do things and you can be productive, and that feels good. So yeah, spelling bee or math bee? Spelling bee. My goal is to fail. I will choose math bee. But I actually kind of like spelling bees. They're fun. Guacamole or salsa? That's pretty fitting. Ugh, that's hard because it depends on my mood. I love salsa and the refreshing aspect. Salsa verde chips are good. But guacamole is so good and it's very satisfying. But I'd honestly probably pick salsa, especially because with salsa, there are so many different kinds of salsa. I made a corn dip. It might have been my last chips and dip video. Or maybe it was 2 chips and dip videos ago. But it was really good. I'm just obsessed with corn dips. I don't know if I like this one or that one better though. I think I like this one more. It just has a fuller flavor. Uh-oh. So I just put melted chocolate on top. So it's kind of just hardening now. But it's delicious and I don't care. I'm not picky. Mmm. Okay. It's just so good. It's super easy to eat too. Obviously. Air guitar or air drums? Hold on. Air drums. Air drums are more fun. Souvenirs or postcards? Honestly, I love postcards and I think they're beautiful, but souvenirs are more fun because I feel like you can find things that are so authentic to the place that you are in. And there's just so much personality to little souvenirs that you can find in souvenir shops, depending on where you are. But I think I would generally go for souvenirs. Clothes on the floor or clothes in the hamper? In the hamper. Desks or tables? Tables. Desks remind me of school. Night out or night in? Depends on what the night out is. I love late night store runs. I think those are so fun. Night drives, exploring, hanging out with friends. But then there are also days where I just want to stay in. Right now, I'm going to say night out because I've been out more at night recently. Brand name or generic? Honestly, generic, because that's not a brand name necessarily. Like Takis is the name brand, but these are better. So there's my example for you. Generic just tends to be better because they're not trying too hard. They're just doing their thing. Typically speaking. Sometimes they try way too hard. Tattoos or piercings? Probably piercings. I'm a jewelry gal, so yeah. Plus, it's easier to get rid of a hole in your ear or wherever you get the piercing than a tattoo. Night or morning? It depends. Typically, I'm gonna pick night, but sometimes mornings. At this very moment, I'm going to say mornings. Protagonist or sidekick? Depends on the protagonist and the sidekick. Because if we're saying Batman and Robin, oh, I love Robin, but I love Batman. You can't have the protagonist without the protagonist, but you can't have the protagonist without the sidekick either. I mean, you can, but it's not as good. That's a hard one. I'm just gonna say protagonist. Homeschool or classroom learning? So, up until 7th grade, I was homeschooled, and I loved it because my mom was teaching me. And we had this thing called co-op and sharing time where we got together with a bunch of our friends and did school together, and I loved that. And I wasn't exposed to the terrible things that you get exposed to in school. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, there's a lot that you get exposed to in public schools that I wasn't exposed to. And so I think that I was just, I don't know. I was close with my siblings because we were home all the time pretty much. So I'm gonna pick homeschool because you can really decide how things go, if that makes sense. I feel like you have more of a deciding factor. Or more of a say. Okay. One more pull. football or soccer? That's hard. I would have used to have said soccer, but lately I've been digging football. I don't know. I'd rather play soccer, but I think I'd rather watch football. Okay. Last bite. I'm not gonna be able to get all of it. I lied. Now last bite. Alright you guys, it is the end of this mukbang. I really hope you enjoyed. I definitely did. This was very light and very easy to eat. Plus there wasn't a ton in here too. So I would highly recommend. It's so good. And I love corn. So I think that's part of the reason why I like it so much. But this was also really good too. So highly recommend. I really hope you enjoyed the poll idea. If you want to see more, let me know. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and if you want to see more. And don't forget to subscribe. By the way, it's free. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.